When you're a student, you can feel and look insignificant. Yeah? It can look like, because there's so many students in the school, so you are constantly one of many. And therefore, it can be, you can miss out on the beauty of being a student. You can miss out on the incredible advantage of being a law student. And that is a fantastic opportunity to experiment and road test your ideas. The first time I was part of the founders of an organization called Enough is Enough Nigeria. We became popular because when our former president, Umaru Musa, was missing for 3 months, I convinced some of my friends and said we had to go on the streets and host a protest to demand that our president either return or that the vice president be sworn in within 3 months. But in 3 months, Goodluck Jonathan was sworn in as the president of the country. How powerful it was to see my fellow students, they were not much older than me, being able to shake an entire campus. Yeah? Being able to shut down institutions and being able to articulate our well thought out demands. But I looked at the student union leaders who were protesting, who were risking their admission and risking their future, and I thought to myself, it's such a powerful thing to have courage. When I was organizing the Enough is Enough Nigeria protest, and we got over 1,000 people on the street and got them from different campuses, the only frame of reference I had was the protest I joined here. I didn't realize that I was strengthening my voice. I didn't realize that I was exercising my citizenship muscles. I didn't realize I was building a clear picture of the kind of Nigerian leader I wanted to be. But school was the best place to do that, because in the real world, if you are on the wrong side of a protest, you might go to jail. But in school, if you're on the wrong side of a protest, most times the worst thing is you sign an undertaking. But through that process, you learn how to get involved. Through that process, you understand the limits of engagement. Through that process, you exercise your own muscles of leadership, and your school becomes like a lab, a small lab, for you to experiment with the ideas that you may now decide to scale up when you leave university. Don't let anyone despise your youth. The things you are synthesizing, you are learning, and you're experimenting with in the school. I was a student at the University of Lagos when I predicted that the people who were campaigning for third term for Obasanjo, that they were going to fail. And I remember writing a blog, and my classmates were saying to me that it is impossible for a current president not to win a constitutional amendment. But I was a law student, and I was looking at the history of our country, and I could take the risk because it was a small blog and nobody cared about me, and I could say that first, the third term rigmarole was immoral, but more than that, democracy was so strong that this time, this man was going to fail. Now, that small experiment with political forecasting has given me a lot of confidence over the past few years, because I said, when I was in school, I could marshal my intellect and make a correct bet. And so what does that say about my talents and my skills and my ability to predict the direction of my country? Because in the school, those kinds of experiments come with little cost. To join Gani Chambers, to actively participate, you suffer very little consequence. To run for election, to try and amend laws, you suffer very little consequence. So don't despise your youth. Don't take for granted the things that you are experimenting with here. Because one day you look back and you say to yourself, now that I'm president of this country, wherever it is that's going to come out of here, that it is the lessons I learned, flexing my muscles as a student of the Faculty of Law at the University of Lagos, that built me the skill, the temerity, and the capacity to make a real difference in my country. Thank you for tolerating me and have a fantastic